we have so much ground to cover in our conversation. I want to talk about your incredible gift of facilitating people in connecting with their higher self, and how that is and how that works. And I also want to talk about you being on a manifest team and how that is for you. And there's one story in particular of something that you manifested that I'd like for us to share. So we're going to be kind of, all over the place, having some fun with our conversation today. And I'd like to start us, if you would explain what you do as a QHHT practitioner and how it helps people.
Sure. Basically, as a QHHT practitioner, I am just a facilitator, really, and I hold space for people to experience their higher self, to experience higher dimensions, and just to have an experience that will hopefully change their lives.
What are the benefits?
Well, there are a lot of benefits. Many clients say that they're connected to their higher self. Maybe they've never had that connection or known it was there, and they get a deeper connection, or they realize they've had a connection once they make that connection again, and they are able to continue that. They get answers to a lot of their questions, the questions of their heart, maybe things that they've wondered about, and maybe they've been getting the answers all along, but weren't quite receiving the messages. So a lot of times, like I said, they get confirmations of that. Some get healing, physical, spiritual, emotional healing. There's just a lot of different benefits.
What does that require of you? I know that for someone to hold a space for me, to go that deep and to open myself to my higher realms, I have not known many people in my life who could do that. I'm a very powerful, determined energy.
Yes, you are.
And you have done that for me. How do you do that?
It's a connection, I guess, with my higher self. And I also try to, as best as I can, before the client gets here, spend just time in meditation and trying to connect with their higher self even. I know that sounds strange, but I just kind of put that out there. I believe in the power of the infinite flow between people, and I just trust that their higher self has brought them to me for a reason. And I put a lot of trust and faith in that their higher self has brought them to me, and that I'm the person that is, that can do this for them. So it's mostly just allowing that individual to have their own experience. I'm not guiding it. I'm not putting them in one direction or another. I'm just really doing my best to follow the experience they're having, ask them questions, and allow them to go deeper into it to get more from the experience that they're having.
I think you just touched on what made it such a powerful experience for me. All my life, I've had a resistance to other people giving me information or telling me what message God has for me, or, I've just, not resistance, it's absolutely a rebellion. I don't want to hear it. Because anything that you access for me, and then it comes through your computer and you give it to me, it's not for me, it's for you.
Right.
It comes through your bias. And so I think that's probably one of my favorite aspects of what you do, is that you facilitated a space for me to go straight to my source.
Yes. Yes.
To ask my questions.
Yeah. And so I've learned to trust your higher self to give you exactly what you need, the experience, the answers, whatever it is that they think is most important for you at this time. And I just trust that. So I don't try to take it in any direction, but I follow the lead of your higher self and your guidance as you move through the experience. That's a very beautiful and powerful thing to get to witness and be part of.
Oh, I'll bet. I know on the receiving end, it's powerful. I've had 2 sessions with you, and they changed my life. I've been on the path all of my life, and something about the way that you helped me to make that connection um, kept that channel open for
Mm.
me. I live integrated with that now. I no longer feel like the information's out there somewhere. I know it's in here and I can access it 24/7. Really, it's pretty integrated.
That's awesome. I had one client also that after her session, she said, "Oh, hi there, higher self. Good to meet you. You've been there all along, but it's not, she made the connection in a way that was real and powerful. And yes, she had been feeling and sensing and had been guided by her higher self, obviously, but it was like an introduction in a more personal way. And I thought that was a really cool way of describing it.
What's different for me now with you having clearly facilitated and blown open that path is it's not such a tiny voice anymore. It's a
Yeah,
real energy that is integrated with Trish.
yeah.
We're all in here now. We all have access to all of that wisdom, and it's because you held a space and helped me to find my connection.
That is it right there. Because it's not me doing anything or you doing or help, making them do it. It's giving them that opportunity. It's putting it out there and letting them, explore the answers. And right now in this day and time with just the awakening that's happening, and so many people are hearing, oh, you just got to go within and get the answers. Not everybody knows how to do that. And so I think once they get connected with that, which is what both of us are doing, once they get connected with that, then they can learn and find all the answers within on their own without needing someone to do it for them. So that's a real beautiful part of it.
I love that too, because now we're creating a community of conscious, connected people, not
Yes,
people who follow a leader or
right.
who are dependent on information that comes from outside. And the other thing that I'm witnessing, and you're probably seeing this in your practice too, the other thing I'm seeing on manifesTEAMS is that when we do pop open and connect with our higher selves, we each have our own unique expression of it.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like,
it's very different.
like as you awaken your gift more, it's so compatible with mine, and we're on that path together. And all of the people on manifesTEAMS with us, as they awaken their gifts and they learn to harness that energy that is
Yeah,
within them, and then they shine forth in their uniqueness.
yeah.
We're not all a bunch of carbon copies. We all have unique gifts.
Yeah, and we flow together beautifully like that when we're all operating in our own connection with ourselves. Like then we just flow. I love it. We've seen that on our manifest team for sure.
Indeed. Yes, yes. When I first came to you, I had some very specific questions, and you encouraged me to write them down to prepare for my session with you. And one of the things I loved the most is that I learned about my magic list. That all I have to do is write down the question and the answer comes. And so I had 2 or 3 weeks to prepare for this session with you, and all of my questions kept getting answered before I even got to you. And then the real magic happened for me. The real paradigm shift for me happened. In both of my sessions, this happened. I came in with a particular intention, but what my higher self did was knew my overall intention, knew overall what I wanted, and
Yeah,
gave me that instead of
yeah,
my tiny little human thinking questions, answer this. Although I did get those answers, but the experiences that you facilitated for me changed everything about how I see myself
yeah,
and how I live my life. It popped open my life purpose in a completely different way than I thought it was. just kind of following the bliss. And what my higher self did in sessions with you was give me an opportunity to see myself, my own energy, having different experiences. And then those memories exist within me now.
Yeah.
It's like I'm bringing some tools back in from where I used to be. And you, my friend, facilitated all of that expansion in me.
Well, it was my honor. And also, I mean, I can't be on the other side of that and not be impacted by it. It was both powerful sessions for me as well. So yeah, I gleaned quite a bit from those experiences. But it was really interesting that your higher self knew what your deepest desire was. And even though you were putting out these questions and you thought you wanted the answers to these, they're like, oh, that's all good and well, but we know what's going to set her off. We know what's going to put her on this journey and on her purpose, fulfilling her purpose. And so by them, giving you that experience, they not only answered your questions, but they answered those deep, I call them the unspoken questions, the deep desires of your heart. That's what came through for you, I believe.
It is. It absolutely is. I birthed manifesTEAMS after that.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I want to surround myself with conscious people. I want to use my gifts to help others discover what their gifts are. And all of that just kind of came out of those sessions.
Yeah.
Wow, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. And you were, because we connected so instantly, the minute we met, we knew we'd already met. We knew each other for way, long before, but we had such a deep connection. Like, you really activated some things in me that, brought some things forward that were, kind of in the background that I didn't know were there. And it really just, it was a powerful thing for me, just meeting you and having that conscious connection like you were talking about. It really activated and released some things in me that helped me on my path also.
That's another thing that we have in common is how both of us are really shining our lights in the world more, to assist others in awakening who they truly are.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to this thing. It's like, what is that expression that I think it's the Chinese expression? Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Exactly.
And I love that how both our paths are so congruent in that, of here, awaken your gifts.
Yeah.
Open your channel to have a conversation with God. Answer your own questions. It's all within.
All within you. Exactly.
You shared with your manifest team a few weeks ago a big surprise you got in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
Share that story with us.
Sure. Oh my goodness. I've been blown away because, we started out saying, let's think of something small and fun and playful that we can manifest. And everybody was sharing their things. And I thought, I don't know if I can even play this game right because I can't even come up with something small to manifest. And so I just began to really just connect with my true self. And I call it my master self, my master energy. I began to just channel my master energy and just align with abundance of health and wealth and love and joy and just the true essence of my being. I just began to align with those things in our little timeouts that we would do throughout the day. And that's what I would do, is align with that. So I was just doing that and feeling like, man, other folks in my team were manifesting their, desires and their intentions. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to play this game my way. I don't know if I'm playing it right, but here I go. And then out of the blue, I get a piece of mail. I opened it up and I had been in a previous employment 7 years before. And when I left that employment, I had thought that I cleaned out all my accounts and moved it over to my bank and done all that. But this little piece of paper was telling me, no, I still had 2 accounts open, and those amounts totaled $45,000. It's like it was reserved for me for now. That happened so fast. I mean, it was just like so fast. It was crazy.
What did you learn about you playing manifest game from that whole experience? What did you learn about
Playing the game right?
I just love that. That here you are on this powerful manifest team, and you thinking everybody else is playing right, you're not getting it.
Yes, and here's the thing, you know, a big lesson: don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare the way you're doing things to the way they're doing things. I mean, I know this, but that's what I was doing. I was like, man, I'm just not doing it like them. And so, yeah, no more comparisons. I'm going to be me, you be you.
You know, this brings up another point too about manifest teams, that there's nothing quite like wanting something for everything in your energetic vibration that's less than that to show itself. And so here you got to see yourself, what you do to you when you compare yourself to others.
Yeah. And so here's another point to that, is that, you know, I felt like if I asked or set an intention for a specific thing, that I might be limiting myself to what the universe had for me. So that's why I had a hard time narrowing it down to something small, because I'm like, you know, I trust that what the universe has for me is probably better than I could dream up for myself. So I just put it out there, and I'm like, okay, I'm just aligning with, you know, the truth of who I am, and I'm trusting the universe to bring to me and give to me what I need and what's best for me at this time. And that's what happened. Like, I mean, like that. It's crazy. And then it's just been, I mean, it's been like, keeps going now. Like, it's not slowed down. There's been all kinds of manifestations because of that I've just been, we just feel like we've entered a new paradigm, like we just stepped into something new and different, and flowing in that freely. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
That's interesting. You know, it's kind of like when I had my session with you, and it's like we cleared the channel for me to be able to connect. And so now I just connect with my higher self, you know, all the time. And that kind of happened to you playing manifest game.
Yeah, it did.
You cleared the channel, and now you're just able to, you get it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, Kay, that is, oh my gosh, congratulations. I just love hearing that. You know, I'm just fascinated by the parallels of our friendship, how both of us are expanding into our chosen gifts and our soul callings, and how all of that is just kind of unfolding, and the similarities between them as well. We both believe in facilitating others to achieve their own inner connection.
That's like one of my greatest joys. It really is. It is it gives me the greatest joy to just to be able to hold space for someone to move into that, you know. I mean, I love seeing other people awakening to their truth and move in that powerful flow of who they are. And I know you do too, because I'm watching you as people in the manifest team do the same thing. So I know that you're enjoying it as much as I am.
I think it's just such a beautiful dance in our friendship, and really with others on the manifest teams too, how as one advances, we all advance.
Yeah, that's right.
And in our own unique way. And that there's so much playful joy on this journey too. I always thought of spiritual growth as being very solemn and serious. No, it's not. Hey. Spirit wants us to want what we want.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, so there's that dance now when we're whole and integrated. We call it the unified field. When we're integrated with all of these unified fields, there's this beautiful dance between, like you said, you ask for something general, and then you trust the universe to make the how happen and bring it in, to exceed your expectations of it. But it started with you intending something.
Yeah.
You wanted abundance.
Yes, I did.
And
Yeah.
I love watching how that unfolds too, that there's this beautiful dance between each of us in our higher realm in how we want. Like, I didn't think it was manifesTEAMS I wanted to do as a soul calling. I thought it was a screenplay writer. I'm pumping out books and screenplays. I think that's how I'm expressing my spirituality. And then after those sessions with you, I just connected with the authentic, deeper, higher aspects of me. And now there's this beautiful choreographed dance of manifesTEAMS coming into.
It was birthed out of that experience, wasn't it?
Yes, it really was. After I took a couple of breaths and took a couple of weeks to digest everything that had happened to me in those sessions. I mean, I was blown away, but I was given an experience of the manifestation process. I was shown how we manifest as the source, how God manifests. And then the whole curriculum for manifesTEAMS began pouring through, and here we are.
Wow. What a powerful manifester you are.
We are.
We are.
Oh, and the other thing about what you do as a facilitator and then also being on a manifest team is that we really are calling our family to us. We're shining this light, and more people awakening their gifts and opening themselves to their higher powers. We're calling them to us now.
Yeah, we're networking with our soul family. We are.
I love it.
We're attracting them. I mean, I attracted you and others. And here we are. It's beautiful.
And we all hold a piece to one another. As we have these open dialogues. That's one of the other things I love about the manifesting format, is that we get to have these open dialogues with one another and support one another on our individual path. There's no cookie cutter stuff here. And then as your gifts pop in, you support me and popping in my gifts. It's just beyond anything the human Trish could ever have envisioned.
Yeah, I agree.
And much of it is because of our friendship and what we unlocked in one another. And I just thank you so much for that.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. I'm so grateful.
Is there anything that you wanted to share that I haven't asked you or we haven't gotten to?
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I think just a lot of times, not a lot of times, all the time, is we're just following our intuition, which is sometimes just our higher self getting messages to us in ways that maybe we're not hearing. So following our intuition and the breadcrumbs that are left for us, that we find ourselves where we are today. And that's what I was talking about, how, trusting that the universe had something so much bigger for me than I can imagine. I wouldn't have chosen any of this, but I was following the breadcrumbs. I was, following my intuition and what made me come alive and what brought me joy, just following what lights me up, what brought me joy. And as we do that, that's the universe saying you're walking in your truest self because you're honoring that within you. And so, that's where I feel like I'm going. I have no idea what the future looks like, but I'm excited because I'm following what the universe is giving me, what my higher self is leading me into. And I know it's bigger than I can even really fathom right now. And I feel the same for you too. You've got manifesTEAMS going, but you may have an idea of what it's going to look like, but you don't really. It's going to be way bigger than you can imagine. So it's so exciting just to be at this stage of it and know that it's all just opening up before us. And we're just walking in, following in and playing and having fun and following our heart. And that's the best part. It's fun. And we get to be here and we get to do this. And I love it. And I love getting to be here and do it with you.
Right back at you, girlfriend. You said that so well. Thank you for bringing all of those points in. Um, I'm a recovering type A personality.
No.
And so everything you just said is an acquired skill for me
Yeah.
to let go and
Yeah.
know that everything that's choreographed through this dance with me, with the human me and my higher self, is beyond anything the human could ever have conceived of
It is.
or manifested. And that's what I really love, is bringing that level of manifestation tool to the world, that
Yeah.
there's a whole new vibration that we can create from.
Yeah. And it's just one big adventure, right? I mean, I love adventures. So it's just one big adventure. I love it.
Well, sweet Kay, I am so blessed to be on this adventure with you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, my
It's
friend.
a wonderful conversation, and I will see you soon on a manifest team. I love you, honey.
Okay, my dear. I love you. Bye.